the May 2021 question 3C. What is the thing? May 2021 3C. Let's analyze it slowly. So again, it's all about preparing the statement. It's all about preparing the statement. The cost benefit analysis. Now we are told that ABC Limited's current annual sales are 1.8 million with a cost of sales of 80% and bad debts average 1% of total sales. The current debt collection period is 1 month, and the management considers that if credit terms were eased, that is option A, the effects would be as follows. So you have present policy and option A, additional sales zitaongezeka 25% still. Then we have average collection period, currently in 1 month, itakuwa 2 months. Then bad debts as a percentage of sales 1%, they increase back at 3%. Of course, the company requires a 20% return on its investment. Cost of sales at 75% variable and 25% fixed. It doesn't matter. So advise the management on whether or not is the credit terms. So we have the current policy. We compare with the proposed policy. So that we find out if there is an additional benefit ama cost. If there's an additional benefit or cost, so the figures we can put them in thousands. The currently sells 1.8, so we can have it in thousands of shillings. May 2021, question 3C. So, as always, we start with sales. Currently, sales zetu ni ngapi? 1800. Zitaongezeka na 25%, zikuwe ngapi? 2250. So that sales increased by how much? How much? 450. Good or bad? When sales increase, we are happy. Still, we have variable costs. I told somewhere about the variable cost. About the cost of sales. The summer cost of sales is 80% still. So forget about your note number 2. We have the total cost of sales. So for our cost of sales, ambazo tuko na 80%. So 80% of 1800, 1440. 80% of 2250, sorry, 1800. Cost of sales ziongezeke na ngapi? $260. It's a cost going up still. It's a cost going up. So sales minus cost of sales tunapata nini? So tunapata gross profit. Ya uko mbele kabisa ndo interest yetu. How much is the gross profit? 90, ndio. Angalia expenses zingine. We have somewhere bad debts. Bad debts. Currently, bad debts ni ngapi? 1% of our sales, of the credit sales. All sales are on credit unless told otherwise. Clear. So currently bad debts ni 18. 1% of 1800. Yeah. And with the new policy, bad debts will be 1%. 3% of sales, which is 2250. Which will give us 7.5. So bad debts are increasing by how much? 49. 49.5. Good or bad? It's a cost going up. Still, the cost inaongezeka. What else is there? Hakuna discount. Hakuna kitu kingine apart from the receivables period. There's no any other expense. So therefore, we have the pre-tax cash flows. Further to mark 90 minus of 3.1, 40.5. Ideally, we're supposed to less what? Do you have tax rates? We don't have the tax rates here. Alafu tumuongeza nini sasa? The opportunity cost. Current assets and current liabilities. Can I have it on receivables? Annual credit sales divided by what? Divided by shine where you can. Divided by 365. Times the number of periods. So receivables period. Why do you do 12? Because the period is in months. Yeah. So currently, sales certainly 1800 divided by 12. Currently, how long does our customers take to pay? 1 month, still giving us 150. With the proposed policy, our credit sales of 2250, then pay within how many months? 2 months. How much will be the debtors? How much? 375. Increase or decrease? So there's an increase in debtors. Are we happy? You cannot be happy when debtors go up still. And the opportunity cost, what is the cost of capital? It's in 20%. So the difference in 20%. How much? 4.5. And that is the cost. So we have a net benefit or a net cost. A net cost of how much? The unit cost. So we are told to advise the management on whether or not to ease the credit terms. So advice would be, should they ease the credit terms? It's not beneficial here. So management should not ease the credit terms. So you want to attempt to remark. Ushaandika cells. Napiga cells. Nimeingia wakati nataka kuandika. Haya, sawa. Wacha tuifanye pamoja alafu nitaattempt moja still. Now, in an effort, May 2019, in an effort to lower its account receivables balance, Chizingo Manufacturing Limited is considering to switch from its existing no discount policy to a 2% cash discount for payment done by 15 days and after sale. So pay within 15 days, get the 2% discount. Those are the new terms. It is estimated that 50% of the customers will take the discount, and the average collection period is expected to decline from 60 days to 45 days. So currently it's 60, it's 45. The company's management policy, the company's management projects an increase of 20,000 units in annual sales to 220,000 units at the existing price of 2,500 per unit. So currently sales definitely how many units? To increase na 20 to 220. Kwa hiyo currently 1. Kizungu tu. The selling price per unit 2,500. The variable cost per unit is 2,100 and the average cost per unit is 2,300. The company requires a 15% return on investments, tax is 30%, all sales are on credit basis, assume 365 days in a year, advise the management on whether to offer the cash discount to customers. So the statement for us. So we start with our sales. Currently, we are selling 200 units, right? 200 units, and each unit is selling at how much? 2,500. So sales there to currently ni ngapi? We're putting them in thousands of shillings. 500,000. And the proposed policy, itakuwa 220. So 220 times 2,500. 550,000. So sales ziongezeke na ngapi? Ziongezeke na 50,000. Is it good for the company? Yes, it is. Then we have the variable cost. Variable cost per unit of printing ngapi? 2,100. So 2,100 times 200 or 20,000. 2,100 times 220 or 62,000. So variable costs are increasing by how much? By 42. Good or bad? That's a cost going up still. So other than the variable cost, we have average costs. So we have average costs, which is per unit is 2,300 still. So currently 2,300 times 200, sorry, or 60,000 with the proposed policy 2,300 times 220, 506. So the average cost increased by how much? 4 things. Good or bad? Very bad. Any other expense? Are you seeing a discount? Currently, there is no discount, but you want to move to a discount of what percent? 2%. So the discount rate is 2%. How much of our customers will enjoy the discount? 60% of the customer will take the discount. So 60% of how much? Oh, 550 or 500. Currently, there is no discount. Discount is coming with the new policy. So saizi hatuna. The new policy itatupea discount ya ngapi as an expense? How much? 17,600. Right? So it's a cost of 17,600. Good or bad? The cost going up. Is there any other bad debts? So you only need the opportunity cost. So therefore, pre-tax cash flows. Seeing a big negative of how much? 50,000 minus the 3. 55. 55,600 is a negative, right? Then we take care of tax. Tax ni ngapi? So in finance, if it's a negative, you save tax. If it's a positive, you pay tax. So 30% of 55,600. 16, 680. Hiyo inakuwa positive, you don't less. It's a negative, we save tax. If it were positive, tungelipa tax. Tukilipa ni cost, save ni benefit. So then now you bring in what? Opportunity costs. Do we have receivables? So receivables, annual credit sales, going to 360 or 365. So divide by 365 times the receivables period. So you can even start with the current policy. How much is our credit sales? All sales are on credit. That's what we've been told. And customers take how long to pay currently? 60 days. How much is that? How much? 82? 192. 190. Can I say 192? Rounded off. Then we have the proposed. Now, under the proposed policy, when you have a discount, we very careful. Tuko na customers wa kwanza, wenye watapata discount. What percentage of our customers will enjoy the discount? So the 60% of 550 will enjoy the discount and pay within how many days? 15 days. I think that. So how much would that be? So 13,562. Then tuko na wapili wenye hawana discount. If 60% enjoyed the discount, how much did not enjoy? The 40%. So the remaining 40% of our customers, of our credit customers, did not enjoy the discount and paid within how many days? 36 or 45? the new terms. 45 days, right? So how much would that be? $27, $123. So currently it's on 82, 192 with the proposed policy. The add is on billing. Sorry, 40, 685. So is it an increase or decrease? So there's a decrease. When debtors decrease, good or bad? It's good. And what is the cost of capital? Return on investment raising 15%. So 15% of the decrease, which would be 15%. 16. 6226. And the 6226 is a benefit still. So therefore, we have a net benefit or a net cost. And we are still at net cost. 55,600 negative. Kiongeze hizo mbili, bado unapata negative. So 16,680 plus 6226 minus 55,600. Get a negative of 32. 32694. So there we go. Total base review, advise the management on whether to offer the cash discount to customers. So should they offer? They tell them in English, management should not offer the cash discount. We also have May 2016, question 2D. So once you finish, then I want us to discuss the next issue. Now, price issue. Price issue. We say it is the issue of additional new shares. It is the issue of additional new shares to existing shareholders. It is the issue of additional new shares to existing shareholders at a discount and on pro rata basis. At a discount and on pro rata. Pro rata means what? You don't just get the shares if you get the shares based on your existing shareholding. So the new shares are issued depending on your existing shareholding. You can say that for every 4 shares that you have, we'll give you 1 new share. That is pro rata. The more existing shares you have, the more the new shares that you get. That's our next point. Immediately after the rights issue, the share price is expected to fall. The share price is expected to fall. And the shares will sell, at X rights price. And the shares will sell at X rights price. In finance X tulisema inamaanisha nini? Without, ndio, exclusive. So maybe just say X rights price. X rights price is the share price exclusive of the value of the rights. Is the share price exclusive of the value of the rights? Then hapo chini come rights price is the share price inclusive of the value of the rights. The share price inclusive of the value of the rights. Into brackets. Share price before the rights issue. Share price before the rights issue. So any person who buys shares at come rights price, that's an investor before the rights issue. What does that mean? If you have the shares at come rights, meaning hizo rights ziko ndani ya hizo shares. Mesema it is inclusive of the rights. So the rights are in those shares. So you are entitled to the new shares in the rights issue. Because you are becoming a shareholder when the shares still have the rights in them. That's how rights issue itaisha. When the company will be subscribing the rights issue, you'll be among the beneficiaries. Because you became a shareholder with the rights. So, if you buy the shares at X rights, then you're buying the shares that have no rights. So you will not be entitled to the new shares in the rights issue. You're becoming a shareholder after the rights issue period elapses. So the shares are selling at a price without the rights. So you cannot go back and demand the new shares in the rights issue because you became a shareholder at what? X rights. If a shareholder at come then you have all the rights to be given the new shares. So, next point, upon its announcement, a shareholder, upon its announcement, a shareholder has 3 available options. Upon its announcement, a shareholder has 3 available options, i.e., number 1, to take up the rights, and subscribe to the new shares, to take up the rights and subscribe to the new shares. So go and get these shares, go and buy the new shares that the company is offering. Number 2, to sell the rights, to a third party, so transfer that power to somebody else who will now become the new shareholder. And number 3, to ignore the rights issue. To ignore the rights issue and do nothing. To ignore the rights issue and do nothing. And just keep one line that you say. A shareholder who ignores is expected to lose. A shareholder who ignores is expected to lose. So make sure you read about advantages of the rights issue. Advantages of the rights issue and also disadvantages. We have advantages to the company, we have advantages to the shareholder. And also read the disadvantages, the notes. So make sure you go through that one. Let's go to the first paper. Swali. They can say question in August 2022. Question number 2C. FM August 2022, question number 2C. Question number A, I know you have the answer. Investment products available in the financial market that he should consider to enable him achieve financial freedom. We have different investment products available, money markets, Konazo financial market, the treasury bills. Yeah, so kindly look at them. Distinguish between the following terms: agency cost and agency problem. Can you distinguish between the two? What is an agency cost? Lakini ndani exam room unaweza andika more. Vile sasa unataka inaitwa aje kufinya ya maandishi. What is an agency cost? Answer inaanza na it is a cost. It is. It is a cost. It's a cost in an agency relationship. Is it true? Or maybe. I want to say something or not right? There wants to write. It's a cost incurred by the principal in an agency relationship. As simple as that. That's an agency cost. A cost incurred by the principal in an agency relationship. Clear? Why do we incur that cost? To minimize the conflict. Now your conflict, your agency problem. So the agency problem is what? So an agent is the conflict that may arise between the principal and an agent. So agency cost is an expense paid by the principal in an agency relationship. Agency problem is an agency conflict that may arise between the principal and the agent. What is intrinsic value? So obviously, back on imagine. Ukiwa a test of mtihani. Something about differentiate between intrinsic value and the market value. So intrinsic value is that it's time to shine. Just say Mr. Karibu exam ishasetiwa. By now ishasetiwa. So intrinsic value, it is the true value of a security. The true value of a security. Na wakati jina true value inakataa, the intrinsic value ni present value. So we discount, calculating the intrinsic value. So the true value of the security market value now is the value as determined by what? The forces of demand and supply. The value is determined by the market forces of demand and supply, the price at which a security is selling on the market. Yeah. What of the liberal credit policy and the conservative credit policy? Kama kila liberal inakusumbua, liberal is on matching ama hedging. So the matching credit policy and the conservative policy. So matching policy is the theory of graph. The theory nimesoma next week. Yeah, so next week. Next week nitanitambua. Next week kuanzia Wednesday. Mpaka exam ni Monday or Tuesday. FM is on Tuesday. You have a paper on Monday? Yours is starting on Tuesday. Tuesday and Wednesday. That's good. That's good. So those is the theory known as theory. There's a theory to this Wafula. Wakati hesabu inaanza kufanana na Wafula. Unadhani Wafula inakuja kwa hesabu kwa ujue mada cha. Theory inaweza kuwa mkokozi. Ndio. So the liberal credit policy or the liberal policy, the assets being financed are matched with the financing. Short-term funds finances short-term assets, while long-term funds finances long-term assets. We match. Short-term funds, short-term assets, long-term funds, long-term assets. Right? Conservative, we fear risk. So you shall use the long-term funds which are less risky. So for conservative, long-term funds finances the long-term assets and part of the short-term assets. So long-term funds finances the long-term assets and part of the short-term assets. And the short-term funds will finance the remaining portion of the short-term assets. Part C is the reason we are there. Horizon Construction Limited wishes to increase the number of its branches. Wishes to increase the number of its branches in the country. The board of directors of the company has decided to finance the expansion program by raising funds from the existing shareholders through the one or four rights issue. They're given one share for every how many existing? For every four, right? So kuna shares nne, unapewa share moja. The published income statement of the company for the year 2021 had the following information: turnover, profit before interest and tax, less the interest, profit before tax, profit after tax, ordinary dividends, and the retained profit for the year. The share capital of the company comprises 10 million ordinary shares, which have a par value of 10 shillings per share. The shares of the company are currently being traded on the securities exchange with a price earnings ratio of 20 times. Price earnings ratio of 20 times. The firm's board of directors have decided to issue the new shares at a 25% discount on the current market price for 2 marks the theoretical exercise price of an ordinary share and the theoretical value of the earnings. No problem. No problem. So, first of all, let us get the current share price. Wamesema kuwa PE ratio ni ngapi? PE ratio ni 20, ndio. So 20 times. And do you remember the formula of PE ratio? Tulifanya kwa valuation of ordinary shares, unakumbuka? PE ratio equals to P is for this is the time for the devil to make you think you won't do anything. You're doing to real. So P is for the price, market price per share, and E is for the earnings. So price over earnings. Price over earnings. The ratio is 20 times. How do we get earnings per share? Profit. Is it profit after tax? Profit per share, profit per share. I know today I'm just asking things that you got. Still going to fully in the summer. Let us not look at it and say we are very ready. We are never ready. So earnings per share, profit after tax, and preference dividends come out for Nazo, we divide by what? The number of ordinary shares. We have the profit after tax. Of how much? How much? 59.50 equal 1,000. Equal 1,000. The shares ni ngapi? So 10,000. The figures are in thousands. So this is the 0.595. So earnings per share 0.595. So therefore, 20 equals to MPS divided by 0.595. What is the current MPS? Is it 20 times 0.595? It will be, sorry, 11.9. And what will be the rights issue price? The rights issue ama subscription. They are offering at a discount of what percent? 25%. So meaning, can you say that the price will be 75? Or the 11.9 minus 25%? Second 75%. So 75% of 11.9. How much is that? 8.925. That's why we say rights issue is the issue of additional new shares to existing shareholders at a discount and on pro rata. Why the discount? To just make the offer attractive. The management are coming to you as a shareholder and telling you that, look here, a share whose value is 11.9, I want you to buy it at 8.9. You're likely to be motivated to go for it. So the discount, the intention is to make the offer attractive to existing shareholders. Now, we start with number one, theoretical exercise price. Theoretical exercise price. Let me try to be more analytical. But love to me are formulas. So far, formulas, nothing but anyway, what is the nature of the rights issue? One new share for? Is it one for 4? So for every 4 existing shares, come up on 4 existing shares. Going at how much? 11.9. You'll be given how many new shares? You'll be given 1 new share at 8.925. So at the end of the day, utakuwa na shares 5, valued at how much? 4 times 11.9. 30. 7.6. You add plus 8.925. 6.525. So at the end of the day, you'll have 5 shares whose total value is 56.525. Can you have the value per share? $56.525 divided by what? 5. How much is that? Sorry. 11.305. Then you do X price. You do X price. For every 4 shares that you had, we'll give you 1 new share. So the 4 shares, the value is this. The 1 new share, the value is this. So you have the total 5 shares, whose total value is this. So the value per share gives you the X price. And remember to say immediately after the rights issue, that is a theoretical X price. The share price will reduce and it will now selling at X. Before it was 11.9. After it may drop to 11.30305. And that takes us to required number 2. Required number 2. Wataka to calculate nini? Value of the the theoretical value of each right. So the value of the right is actually the difference between CAM rights and X rights. So this one equals to CAM rights price minus X rights price. Tulisema CAM rights price was the price before the rights issue, 11.9. Now X rights price we have an 11.305. What is the value of the right? 0.595. 0.5919. So that gives us the 3 marks. Now, traded part here again. Assuming an investor held 5,000 ordinary shares of the company before the rights issue announcement and 15,000 in his savings account, calculate the following options and identify the best option to the investor. If he exercises all his rights, sells all his rights, and ignores the rights issue. It's all about a comparison. So can we start by asking ourselves, what is the wealth before the rights issue? The wealth of the shareholder before the rights issue. We have from the shareholding, akona shares ngapi? 5,000 shares. Kila share in a sell na how much before the rights issue? 11.9. So that value is 59,500. 59,500. Alafu muongeze akona savings account. Yeah, muongeze savings account ya how much? 15K. So the total wealth 74,500. 74,500. So you compare that with the wealth after rights issue. If he or she ya kwanza imekuwa exercises all his rights. So if he exercises all his rights, we have number of existing shares. Akona shares ngapi before the rights? Akona 5,000 shares. Do we have number of new shares? How many shares do you get? How many shares will give you one new share? Then 1:4. So you are getting one share for every 4 that you have. Here, out of a total of how many that he has? 5,000. So kama one share, kama 4 shares inakupa 1 new. How many new shares do you get from the 5,000 shares? How much? 1250. 1250. We have the total shares and the value. The value of the shares after the rights issue will be what? 11.305. So 11.305 times how much? 250. So what will be his total value? 76? 706? 56.25. So 56.25. Clear. But now you ask yourself, see, I new shares. Hakupewa for free. So less the cost of getting the new shares. So here become unless rights issue price. Alipewa shares ngapi mpya? I think 1250. Na kila share aliuziwa na pesa ngapi? Patapotea. What was the rights issue price per share? I think 8.925. Hata ndio iko hapa in black and white, black on white. 8.925 still. So I spent 8.925. How much did he spend in total to get the new shares? How much? Sorry? 11,156.25. So ni cost ambayo tunaitoa. Sawa. Then hapo unakuja unamuongeza ile savings account yake. Kwa savings account alikuwa na 15,000. Find out his next net wealth. 74. Does it change? Before the rights issue, it was 74,500. After the rights issue, it will be 74,500. Right, must be a rights issue, ipata unajuanga. Because when you take one of the two options, you don't expect you to lose. Sasa, wealth yako inafaa ibaki intact. Okay? So acha tuangalie huo mwingine. Number 2, sell all the rights. Sell all the rights, the same approach to. I always prefer analysis. Inakuwa more easy to understand. Do you have number of existing shares? Remember, rights issue does not affect your existing shareholding. You are giving out new shares. Either take them or leave them. Lakini zile ulikuwa nazo utabaki nazo. Existing shares zake ni ngapi? Ni 5K. Do you have the new shares? Will he get some new shares? How now? Namiuza. He's selling the rights. So instead of going in for the shares, he's transferring that power to get the new shares. And by the way, the shareholder is not selling the shares. It's the company that is selling the shares. You cannot sell what is not yours. But you can only sell the power that you had to get the new shares. That's how. And that power that you had is now the rights. So you will not be the one to get the new shares. The other person whom you transfer the power to, you did not transfer the shares. You only transfer the rights to own the shares. That's how. So therefore, shares zako hazitabadilika. Shall we have the total shares and value? Whether you do whatever, immediately after the rights issue, the share price must drop and the shares will sell at 11.305. The share price will reduce immediately after the rights issue. Whether you took up the rights, you sold or you ignored. Time elapse, price inashuka inaanza kusell at expiry price. So it will be the value 56,525. So 56,525. Now, this person sold some rights. The rights have a value. So unamuongeza value of the rights. Value of the rights. How many rights does the shareholder have? How many? 1,250 or 5,000? Check multiple choices. Bili peke yake. Si atunyeshe kuadesa. 5,000 or 1,250. Unaweza guess either. 1,250. You are happy to go. Thank you. 1,250 shares in here. Now remember, we have not said anyone that is selling the shares. Is selling the rights. What is the rights? The rights is what you have. So the rights is basically in existing shares. And by the way, kindly, he's not selling the shares. He's only transferring the power. That's why shares that is but because of the 5,000 shares that he has, he had the power, he had the rights to be given some additional shares. So that power that he had is the one that is being transferred to somebody else. So that person who will buy the rights will be the one who will come to this company and buy the 1250 shares. So this person is transferring 5,000 rights. And each right costs how? What is the value of one right? 0.0.5 iko hapa, the value of each right. So what will be the value of the rights that this person will get? Sorry? 29.75. Alafu tumuongeze savings account yake. Savings account ni ya kuongeza tu. Hata kama hangekuwa ametupa, it has no impact. Savings account alikuwa na ngapi? 15,000. What is the net wealth? Does it change? You have 74,500. So when you sell the rights or you exercise the right, your wealth is not expected to change. Sasa, finally, number 3, ignore the rights issue. If he ignores the rights issue, the same approach. Number of existing shares, with 5,000. The rights issue does not affect your existing shareholding. Tabaki na 5,000 and you will have. Do you have the new shares? Atakuwa nazo kweli? Then ignore. So there will be no new shares. Yeah. Can we have total shares and value? Atakuwa na 5,000 shares, zenye ziko valued at how much? It does not matter whether you took them, you sold, or you ignored. After the rights issue, the price will be 11.305. How much is that? 56,525. Now, at that point, you decided you will not sell the rights, neither will you exercise the rights. So that is what you have as far as the shares are concerned. So hapa, umeongeza tu nini? Your savings account here. Ambayo ni ya 15,000. So what is the net wealth? Sorry? 71,525. So what is the loss of wealth? Before the rights issue, alikuwa na 74,500 na hapa hapo na 71,525. And lose ile value ya 29 ngapi? 29,525. So what would be your advice? Yeah, and the advice and identify the best option to the investor. So the investor should he should either exercise the rights or sell the rights. Okay. That is the advice. The investor should either exercise the rights or sell them. So that is it to the rights issue. Make some sense? hiyo kituo kikubwa, sio? Na kama ujui, shida hizi vitu za FMs that gets work. If you know, you enjoy. If you don't know, you hate it. But we are in the process of knowing, right? Tupambane kabisa, tazama. So I think that's okay. Let's stop there.